Hello, guests. I am the host, and welcome to the Silent Lounge. I don't usually cover Resident Evil content on the channel, but I feel like it would be a crime not to talk about the new Resident Evil 9 trailer that was dropped at the Summer Games Fest event that took place yesterday. I wasn't expecting it. I thought they would save that for a PlayStation Showcase event or something, but they actually showed a trailer and a release date. I'm honestly used to just getting trailers for new games without release dates, because that's what the Silent Hill franchise has been doing since the start of its revival strategy. Capcom is so confident in their games that they dropped a teaser with a release date, and for a second, we all thought they wouldn't show anything new. From what I heard, Capcom said there wouldn't be anything new to show at Summer Game Fest, and then they dropped a trailer as if it was nothing. So I'm going to share my thoughts and opinions on the new Resident Evil 9 trailer. Alright, so we're going to break down the trailer of Resident Evil 9. So one of my favorite parts about this trailer is that it opens up in the office of the FBI. And I can only imagine watching this on the Summer Game Fest stream. Nobody knew what they're in for. And I love reveal trailers that give a surprise like that, where you just don't know anything about it. And so yeah, we have her typing on the computer, and he's just walking down the office. Just a normal office life. And I never would have thought this was a Resident Evil trailer. I thought it would be something else. And there was a lot of people that thought initially that was going to be Rose Winters from Resident Evil Village, but this is an entirely new character. And I don't know if they borrow the same face model, but they look similar. And I also like that detail with the whole office being being a huge mess, already giving you an idea of the kind of character that she is. So the same voice actor for Marvin from Resident Evil 2 remake is voicing the special agent in charge, Grace's boss. So that's one of my favorite details about this, is that it's literally the same voice actor who did, same voice actor who voiced Marvin from Resident Evil 2 remake. So if we're just gonna pause it right here. I know I have it muted. I don't want to talk over anything, but we have it mute. So his name is Nathan Dempsey. He's the special agent in charge. So, yeah, I'm gonna unmute this, and then we're just gonna listen to what they have to say.
The Renwood Hotel. I know that's where your mother was murdered. Alyssa died 8 years ago. Perhaps it's time for you to face the past.
So yeah, this definitely looks more horror oriented, and I am all for that. I want Resident Evil to stay in its horror roots, and I just, man, I'm so excited.
Grace.
What is this?
So I love the hallway. The hallway looks fantastic. It looks like the Resident Evil 7 hallway from the reveal trailer. And when they told me that the director of Resident Evil 7 was also going to be directing this game, I can already see the similarities between both of them. And I don't know if this.
Stay close.
I don't think this game's going to be in first person. I'm pretty sure it's going to be third person.
They're coming.
I know now that you're the one that I've been searching for. The special one. The chosen one. Miss Ashcroft.
So I can see the title being Resident Evil Apocalypse and then changing it to Requiem, because if it's going to take place in Raccoon City, the aftermath of Raccoon City, like after the missile detonated and demolished the whole city, eradicating it, I can see why it could be called Apocalypse. But going back to Raccoon City after all of these years, that is brilliant. I don't know what else to say to emphasize like how much I love the idea of going back to Raccoon City, because it's been almost over 20 years since we had a Resident Evil game that took place after Resident Evil 3. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not entirely sure. I know that after Resident Evil 3, the Resident Evil franchise kind of expanded into different parts of the world. And we've had other games that took place in Raccoon City, but this was before the nuclear bomb went off and eradicated the whole city. One of my favorite short films, it's like a 4D film. It's called Biohazard 4D Executioner. And I'm going to talk about it later in this video, but when I look at this, I think of that.
Investigating all these strange deaths, huh?
We need to keep our voices down.
Have you seen the same shit I've seen?
Please know that you are my hope.
Everyone's gone.
See, and there goes the Raccoon City Police Department, still barely standing after all of these years. I love that. I really love that we're going to be able to perhaps go in or just look at the Raccoon City Police Department. I'm wondering if Resident Evil 9 Requiem is going to be open world in the sense that we're going to be able to explore Raccoon City and just see the aftermath of the nuclear bomb and see if there's any like special mutations of zombies out there. I have no idea. I don't know how far they can go with this, but the short film that I saw was post Resident Evil 3, and the way they did it was really, really cool. I highly recommend you guys watch that short movie.
Stay away from her!
Stay away from her. So I don't know if this is going to be an Evelyn situation. Let's listen to what he just said again.
Stay away from her!
Stay away from him or her. And oh my God, look at that. Like, yeah, we saw that in the beginning. But, that might be a statue. That might be a statue in the background. But then you have this monster right here. Yeah, this is gonna be a good game. And there goes the release date, 27th of 2026. That's gonna release on a Friday. So this is 5 months after Silent Hill F. Silent Hill F is coming out September 25th, I believe, or 26th, which is, I believe, is also gonna be a Friday or Thursday. So it's 5 months away from Silent Hill F, which is crazy that we're gonna have a Silent Hill game and a Resident Evil game come out within the same year. I know this says 2026 and Silent Hill F is 2025, but they're 5 months apart. So that's going to be so awesome. So I want to talk about the title of Resident Evil 9, Resident Evil Requiem. I love the name because it evokes a sense of suspense and mystery. We had Biohazard, Village, and now Requiem. Resident Evil 7 is nicknamed Biohazard because of the mold outbreak, Village because the game takes place in a village setting, and now Requiem, which means Mass of the Dead. We know that Requiem will take place in Raccoon City post Resident Evil 3. If you're not familiar with the ending of Resident Evil 3, the game ended off with a bang. We'll just say that. I remember watching Biohazard 4D Executioner. It's a 3D short film created by Capcom for the Resident Evil series in the year 2000. The film took place in Raccoon City after it got nuked, and it was about a group of Umbrella mercenaries trying to retrieve research data for a new virus created by Dr. Cameron. Dr. Cameron made a virus capable of regenerating genes into other life forms. You can think of it as a virus that shapeshifts into their hosts, like John Carpenter's The Thing. We have heard rumors that Resident Evil 9 was going to be titled Resident Evil Apocalypse, and that the creatures were going to be like shapeshifters. Anyways, watching Resident Evil 9 Requiem gave me strong Biohazard 4D Executioner vibes. And I'm honestly really pumped to revisit Raccoon City post Resident Evil 3. The main protagonist is Grace Ashcroft, who is the daughter of Alyssa Ashcroft. I haven't had the chance to beat Resident Evil Outbreak, but I like the idea of being able to play multiple characters in a scenario. Now that Resident Evil 9 is connected to Resident Evil Outbreak, I have more of an incentive to play Resident Evil Outbreak. Capcom, can you please remaster Resident Evil Outbreak so I can play with my friends? We have gotten ports of all the mainline Resident Evil games, but we haven't gotten Resident Evil Outbreak. Hell, I would even buy Resident Evil Dead Aim if it was available on Steam. Anyway, I appreciate that Capcom is revisiting older storylines that are not as well known as the mainline stories. At least not known to me. As I mentioned earlier in this video, I never beat Resident Evil Outbreak, and it's been so long since I played that I've forgotten what the game was even about. Let me know in the comments if you think I should stream Resident Evil Outbreak. I love how the new Resident Evil trailers feel like an entirely different game. It didn't feel like I was watching a trailer for the newest Resident Evil game, but rather for a completely different horror game. For example, the reveal trailer for Resident Evil Village felt like a game about vampires and werewolves, and even when the title Village popped up, I was like, okay, so we just got a new horror game called Village. And then the Resident Evil 8 popped up and I lost my goddamn mind. Same with the reveal trailer for the Resident Evil 2 remake. We had no idea we were looking at until we saw our Lord and Savior, Leon Kennedy, with his copyright pending haircut. And everyone lost their minds. It's like Capcom knows how to hype their audiences for new games, and it's just really, really exciting to have Resident Evil 9 and Silent Hill F coming out 5 months apart, and I'm honestly all for it. The director of Resident Evil 7, Koshi Nakanashi, will also direct Resident Evil 9, and I can see some similarities between both games. It seems that Resident Evil 9 will be more horror focused, which is a huge plus because Resident Evil Village was more action oriented, and it wasn't as scary as Resident Evil 7. I always considered Resident Evil 7 to be one of the all-time greats that deserves its place among the other iconic Resident Evil games, like Resident Evil 1 through 4. Resident Evil 7 is my first and favorite Resident Evil game, and hopefully Resident Evil Requiem will be as good as Resident Evil 7. Anyways, those were my quick thoughts on the new Resident Evil 9 trailer. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and subscribe if you enjoyed your stay at the Silent Lounge.